1,
There you go.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Perfect. So go ahead and rest. And one of the things you'll notice, once again, you're only able to do 10, 15, 20, 30 pounds of weight when you're fully bent and when you're fully extended. But in the middle range of the motion, you're able to do 170 pounds worth of weight. So ultimately, there's no way you'd be able to do 170 pounds with a leg lift doing this normally, especially just with one leg. But yet we're able to create that amount of resistance in this type of accommodating environment here. The other thing to look at just for a second here is you look at the extension versus the flexion, and one of the things you'll notice, go ahead and pull back again, we'll do another set. One of the things you'll notice is your quads are stronger than your hamstrings. So when we look at our knee extensors versus our knee flexors, the quads are doing 120 to 150, and the hamstrings are doing about 80, 75 to 100. That's about exactly what the type of relationship you should have. And so a lot of times what we'll do is we'll actually test a knee or a quad hamstring relationship, and we'll say, okay, how strong is your quad in relationship to your hamstring? It should be about 3 to 2. We know that based on historical numbers and plenty of tests that they've done. So we know if you can't do 2/3 of what you do with your hamstring or with your quads with your hamstrings, then your hamstrings are weak. Vice versa, if you can't do 150 times or 150% of what you do with your hamstrings with your quads, then your quads are weak. And so another way to be able to diagnose and be able to help figure out, okay, where's our weakness, what type of thing should we be focusing on? And so same thing, just another good benefit here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And so one of the other things you'll probably notice that the speeds are also changing on this. And so normally when we go about doing normal workouts, we're going to have the same amount of speed that's a comfortable, safe speed to work at. With this machine, what we do is we work at multiple different speeds, usually slow, moderate, and pretty high speed. And obviously based on what sport you do, we might dictate what type of speeds we're working at. But the speeds are help create certain muscle fibers. Our muscle fibers, we have slow and fast twitch muscle fibers. So if we're doing exercises at a very slow pace, we're building slow twitch muscle fibers. And so when we go to do explosive type things, we don't have that power and that explosiveness. So that's one of the benefits, once again, when we train at a variety of different speeds, we are preparing for life, which will be taking place at a variety of different speeds. And so this is a faster speed here, you'll notice. So you can't quite generate as much torque, but we're still strengthening the entire motion. And same thing, we're doing it in building different types of muscle fibers so that you're able to tolerate sprints, power situations, you know, things where you need to be able to respond quickly. And so the more we're training at different speeds, the more we're preparing ourselves for working at different speeds.
I like it. I like it a lot. A lot of good variation. Changing it up feels really good.
Good. And once again, it feels like you're working your whole leg, huh? You're working both your quads and your hamstrings, so that's really getting the circulation going in there too. So this is the top speed right here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So just in those 5 sets, we've gone from 60 degrees per second, pretty slow, to 210 degrees per second, pretty fast. When a sprinter is running, it's 500, 1,000 degrees. When a baseball player is throwing, it's 1,500 degrees per second. This machine will go up to about 500 degrees per second, which is extremely fast, and for the most part, same thing. It can really prepare us for some of the sports that we're going for, trying to work explosively fast and build up that strength. And so really preparing us for a variety of different speeds, and like I said, we gear it towards whatever specific activity we're working on.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
And so once again, looking at your chart here, now we're only doing 80 pounds on your extensors, but we're still doing a little bit more than 60 pounds on your knee flexors, your hamstrings. And so we're not doing nearly the amount of resistance we did at a slower speed, but we are training hard, and you can tell even by the consistency of the graph that you're working hard and putting the effort forth, and that's why we're going to be able to reap the benefits of strengthening at a high speed, which is, once again, extremely difficult to do in a safe environment, but this machine is what it's set for.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And then one of the other benefits to this machine too, I'm gonna stop you just a little bit early, but one of the other benefits that we can do with this machine too is we could actually go back, and every time we do it, it saves exactly how much work you did, and we can come back and say, okay, well, how strong were we 6 months ago or 12 months ago compared to now, and then we can create little reports to be able to tell us how strong we are and are we making progress or not.
That's good information to have.
Well, exactly. And once again, something we can actually use to monitor the progress that's completely objective, not something that we can manipulate or change. It's basically, this is your output. And so once again, if we look at a year ago, not that we've been doing this extensively for a year straight, but we did 127 pounds max on the extensors and 84 max on the flexors. Now we look at today's.
A little sore today, so
Okay. Yeah.
we'll see what it's like.
So 165 pounds on the extensors and 97 pounds on the flexors, so still quite a bit more.
Oh,
So
wow.
you have been working hard, which is great to see.
That's good to see.
Turn it off. Is it still going?